This one's going down in Charlotte, and it's a ACC SEC battle, and it's two teams that a week ago this felt way more exciting than it does now because, as I said, NC State, I don't know if I put them on the list, but they should be firmly on fraud watch after what I saw in week one, whereas Tennessee looks ready to take that leap to the next level.
They are more than ready to take that leap to the next level. I think Tennessee, the big question mark was how good is Nico going to be? Like we have the offensive line. I think their skill position is tremendous on the outside. I really like their defense. I like their defensive system. They're very aggressive. The front four, front seven is really good. So there's not a lot of holes to poke when it comes to Tennessee. And then now you may have one of the most talented quarterbacks. Why he's still green, only his second career start, still green. But to me, he's put enough on tape between last year's Iowa bowl game and then the first game of the season to be like, he's got talent. He can do everything that you want to do in an offense that is very quarterback friendly, in an offense that once again has a ton of talent on the outside that he's going to continue to put up crazy numbers. I mean, they get McCoy, Brazel, White, Thorne Jr. Like they got some dudes on the outside. Plus he's athletic on top of it. So if we want to go just like pure quarterback to quarterback, Grayson McCall has played a lot of football. He's played a lot of football. It was in a very unique offense in North Carolina or Coastal Carolina. Nico's very green, but the talent is the inverse of that. Nico is so much more talented than McCall. McCall was very questionable throughout the game last week.
Well, I mean, and the Grayson McCall's got a little bit of that. This is going to sound crazy, but allow me to explain myself. He's got a little bit of that Brady Belichick thing, right? Where Grayson McCall's with Jamie Chadwick his whole career, and he's putting up crazy stats in this Jamie Chadwick offense. Well, what happens when Chadwick goes to Liberty and gets with Caden Salter? Caden Salter starts putting up the insane stats that are mind-blowing, whereas Grayson McCall kind of just goes back to being more of a good player, and that's what he looked like against Western Carolina. He looked good. Slow out of the gate, got better, but like, I don't know, man. I thought NC State's O-line didn't look great against Western Carolina. I think that Tennessee defensive line is going to absolutely eat them alive.
Well, I think the big question is going to be, so I talk about Tennessee and the strengths. Like offensively, you feel really, really good about that as a unit. I think defensively, you feel really, really good, but the one area that I do like for NC State is I really like their receivers. I think they're very talented on the outside. And like I said, Grayson, the amount of times that balls were underthrown or behind the receiver where guys are having to catch it, not being able to stay on the run. But you look at them, and Conception is a very talented receiver. I like Jolly. I like Rogers and Grimes. Like they have 3 or 4 pretty good receivers, and they like to get into 10 personnel, 11 personnel. So like, to me, this is a good game for Tennessee fans and SEC fans and college football fans as a whole to sit back and say, okay, is Tennessee legit? Can Nico now do it again against a quality opponent? And can this defense, we know they're good up front, can they stop an offense's passing attack with talented receivers on the outside? If they can do that, then all of a sudden I truly think we can have a real conversation of Tennessee is a playoff caliber football team. I think they are right now. I'm just saying like this is a good test of receivers versus DBs. Can you slow them down? And if you can prove me that you can, I feel even better about you.
Yeah, I mean, make no mistake, Conception, already one of the best players in the country coming into this game. 9 catches, 121, 3 touchdowns. He lives up to all of the offseason hype. But on a man-to-man basis, Tennessee felt very complete week one, and they're more talented than NC State, pretty significantly, in my opinion, on both lines of scrimmage. And so as good as Conception is, sometimes wide receiver is one of those positions where it almost doesn't matter how good you are. If you're outclassed on so many different other areas of the field, you can't really do anything with your talent. And they'll try to force the ball to Conception, and I'm sure he'll have like respectable numbers, but in no way will he have the numbers that are going to be required to keep up with. Also, like, bro, the NC State defense did not look good against Western Carolina.
No.
They gave up way too many plays. And then I'm just thinking about the speed, like you said, that Tennessee's bringing to bear and the darts that Nico's throwing. And then chat saying that this is 7.5. I
Yeah.
would smash Tennessee to cover this 7.5. I feel as if Tennessee views this as a great opportunity to
Uh-huh.
say, no, we have arrived and really assert themselves as being super legitimate.
This will be an interesting game to interesting is the wrong word. This is a great opportunity. Nico's already all over the place. Nico is the talk of one of the big talks of college football at the moment with his first game. One, because we've been talking about Nico for 2 years, the $8 million man, high expectations, all that. I believe this is a 7:30 primetime game. If he goes out there and has a game of 3 or 4 touchdowns, Nico will be thrust into the Heisman conversation. This is a big
And
moment for
rightfully
him.
so, he should be.
Yeah, he should be. I think I'm with you
Um,
though. Like Tennessee, man for man, if you want to break it down position group by position group, is by far the superior team in this matchup.
it is either 7 I think it's 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. I'm not sure. It could be 6:30 Eastern. It looks like it's gonna be on ABC though. So
7:30. It's
yes,
the primetime
okay.
game.
Okay,
7:30.
so 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, ABC, primetime game. Nico, write your legend. Demon Deacon, $5 super chat. Aaron, disgusting. Nico didn't hit your top 5 quarterbacks of the week. He dominated his routes versus air drill.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, look, they didn't play anybody, but again,
Threw
how do
some
you
sweet
look
ass throws.
when you don't play somebody? And
He,
he looked
whew,
awesome.
whew.
AK says, I'm pretty confident Tennessee will crush them, which means NC State will win, right? Yeah, exactly. We'll
Probably.
see I'll be very interested to see what the public money does. We told you about it last week, that LSU USC matchup, all that sharp money flowing in on USC. And well, wouldn't you know it? The Sharps were right
Mhm.
once again. Um, Elias Gray says only advantage NC State would have is defensive back, and that might be a lack of data. The problem is I wasn't terribly impressed with the defensive backs against Western Carolina, and I don't know whose defensive backfield I like against Tennessee in that attack. Week 1 reaction.